Hi guys, welcome to day 16 of the 60-day DAS Trader Challenge. Today, unlike yesterday, was such an easier day in terms of stress levels and in terms of just the process and the plan. Now, I don't know whether this is all just in my head, but sometimes you just get the feeling before the market opens when you're totally relaxed. You're not really worried about a lot of things, and you just seem to be, I don't know what the term is, just kind of in the zone, for want of a cliche kind of term. I don't know, but I just felt today I was able to kind of read things quite well. Wasn't perfect, but if I can duplicate today 5 times in a row, which is a week, and then duplicate that week 4 times in a month, I think we're onto something here. I think this is it. I think I'm finally beginning to kind of crack the puzzle, so to speak. Today was just a solid day, but even without the term solid, it was just a relaxing day in terms of just not having to really, scrunch up my butt cheeks because I was, feeling the heat, not having to kind of add to losing positions. So just from that perspective, please, God, let me do this again and again. This is all I want. Anyway, in terms of P&L, we had a day of $540. I only traded 6 times. Actually, maybe it was 4 times. I'll have to look at my stats. I think I only traded 4 times. But 2 stocks. Yeah, I think it was four or 5 times. But that is the kind of ideal number that I keep referring to. 6 is a kind of upper limit, but 4 or 5, if you can get to that kind of $540 mark, I mean, wow, I mean that's just great. I mean, I hope I can keep doing this. And it's nice to see, there's not many entries here, which makes it nice and easy to kind of analyze as well, which makes it for a quicker video too. So let's go through the 2 stocks. So the first one, let's go through NVIDIA. All right, so let me just bring this up. Excuse me. So okay, so this is part of the screenshot as well. Now NVIDIA, but let me just make it just a little bit smaller, just so I can show you guys. Where is it? Where's the window for this? Sorry. All right, just so I can show you the trades. Across a little bit. All right, that should be better now. All right, so NVIDIA. So I've got a couple of marks on this. Sorry guys, I'm just going to move it just a little bit across and move this across. Apologies for these glitches. All right, it's got to be like this, and this is going to have to be a little bit. Jeez. Okay, that should be okay now. Okay, so sorry for wasting 30 seconds there. Okay, so NVIDIA, we took 2 trades on NVIDIA. One, so the yellow, orange circle was our number of trades. So the first one was a short, the second one was a short as well. What do we do for the first trade? So the first trade, we had an entry of $148.06, which is here, and it was 200 shares. Now, one of the good things I did today is nearly all the time I tend to add to a losing position, and it's a habit I really want to break. In other words, if this had gone up, I would have added to it. Now, most of the time that'll work, but it's dangerous because you're then holding a bigger position. If it goes against you, then obviously your loss is much bigger. So I've just got to find a way of getting out of that habit, but still being able to do it every now and then when it is beneficial. So I haven't cracked that one yet. Then I added to this. So my plan for today, because I'm reading Andrew's book at the moment, Andrew Aziz's book, which I think is called Day Trading for a Living. I've got the electronic version of it, so I can't show you the cover of it. But in essence, I'm up to the chapter where he talks about his strategy, and he mentions that you don't want to be adding to a losing position. You can add to a winning position. So that's what I tried to do today. I added to this, kind of quite low down, so 50 cents kind of off where I bought the initial, where I sold the initial shares because I shorted. You can see I kind of added here at pretty much 50 cents lower than what I got in already, also $200, 200 shares. So my average was a little bit lower than what I would have liked it to be. And my stop was at the VWAP, which is $148.30, which you can see just there, the black line. My target was the 50-day simple moving average. That was my first target, which is down here. And the risk reward was 79 cents win, which is basically my entry, take away the target, which is actually it should be 94 cents, I think. Actually, if I get that wrong. Sorry, my average. So my average from there, from my average to my exit, which is 79 cents, and the risk 51 cents is from my entry, which is 148.06 to the stop loss. So the actual risk reward on this wasn't that great. I mean, it's not over 2. Now, why did this happen? It happened because I averaged, is it down or averaged up? I averaged up in this case. No, sorry, I averaged down. So my price was lower than what it should be because of the additional 200 shares. If I hadn't taken these additional 200 shares, my price would have been $148.06, which would have made, would have been another, 21 cents plus 6, 27 cents. So this would have been over $1, which means it would have been 2 to 1. So just by adding so low, you kind of, you do decrease your risk reward. But that's fine. 79 cents, I'm still willing to take that. And I kind of covered in 2 places here, but I left a tiny sliver on. So what I've also started doing is leaving a tiny bit of shares on at the end of most of the trades that I take, unless they're complete losers. Excuse me, I'll probably leave like 50 shares, maybe 75, but probably close to 50 shares, and just kind of let it ride, see where it takes me. So this was where I kind of left a little bit on, and I think this was 50 shares. So I closed out that position. Then my second short was similar to the first. This white candle was a bit of a pullback, but Nvidia couldn't break above the VWAP, and it just touched it and bounced back off and down again. So this time I had a much better entry, and I didn't add to it because I just thought it's too risky adding that much size when already I've got some money in the bank, and I don't want to be pushing my luck, and I want to end up green after yesterday's shenanigans. And so I covered here really nicely, actually, almost at the bottom of the day, at the low of the day here. And then I scaled out. So I'm scaling out. So I got in 200 shares here. Then I got I think it was 100. This must have been 50, and whatever the rest is, I think. I'm not sure. You guys will have to look at it here. But this was just 2 really good solid trades. I think this got me, I think $300 something. Hang on, let me have a look. Oh, sorry. So this was $346.50, and then the next trade, which is CBI, was $190 long and $4 short. So let's go through that. All right, and then CBI. Let's make this just a little bit smaller. Okay, we can see that. All right, so CBI. Now, this was a really strong stock yesterday, and today I was thinking it would continue its momentum, just simply because how strong it was, and that it ended up on a high yesterday, and it moved up even overnight into new highs. So what we did here was, I saw this open out of the gates. Now this is the 5-minute chart. I saw this open out of the gates, and it just started going absolutely nuts. It was just so strong. It just kept going up and up and up and up and up. Now, I was a bit afraid that going into it, I kind of, missed the boat, that I was getting really late to the party. I got in here. I was actually thinking of getting here about $21.50, but because I'm trying to be disciplined about not taking any trade unless they're low float momentum before the first 5 minutes, I wasn't sure I wouldn't be breaking that rule. But what I've noticed, and this was actually very apparent after the trade, was that this doesn't trade like a normal $20-odd stock. This trades like a little low float momentum stock. In other words, doesn't really respect the technicals as much, and it just goes gung-ho when it wants to, and it's just difficult to trade, which is reminiscent of what a low float momentum stock trades like. So in other words, yes, I broke the rule in terms of getting in there, but then we trade low float momentum stocks in the first 5 minutes. Anyway, that's how I justified it to myself that, you know, I did the right thing here. And, you know, had I gone in a little bit earlier, I probably wouldn't have gone in so high. But anyway, regardless of all that, let's go through this. So we took 2 trades on this, one long and one short. The first trade, so I got in here at $22.19, I think it was. $22.19 with a size of 400 shares. So nothing major. Now the plan was that I would let this ride to $23, which is what it did. Now I didn't want to add to it because I didn't want to have a too big a position because I got in so late in the day. You know, if I had got in here about $21.50 when it broke pre-market highs, different story. You know, I could have added here. This would have been a good place to add, but not a good place to add if you've already got in here because it's just so extended. So we scaled out in 2 lots here, just a really nice solid trade. Now I gave this, what is it, 10 minutes. I went through a little tiny bit of pain when it kind of fell below where I got in, but this was my stop loss at $21.90. And it just kind of bounced off that, and then it kind of shot up, and from then on it just went really well in my direction. And then now shorting, now I would do this trade again. I would short again. But the problem that I encountered here was that I shorted just a little bit too early. Now, let me show you quickly what I mean. When a stock goes up, ramps up like this on 15 minutes, and it's just got so much volume, and actually I didn't show you the volume here, but so much volume and so much strength, you don't want to be shorting it straight away because a stock doesn't just go up and then back down again. Normally what happens, it goes up, then it kind of, you know, sits for a little bit, and then it either continues up or it breaks down. So the point being, what I should have done is I should have waited a little bit, maybe, I don't know, give it 10-15 minutes, let it kind of, you know, catch its breath, so to speak, in runner's terms, and then see where it goes. So I'm beginning to kind of notice these small nuances, if you want to call them that, from trading. So in other words, this wasn't a good place to short. I mean, you know, obviously this was a much better place to short, but you know, no one knows that this is what's going to happen, and this is a very strong stock. So the point being, yes, I would take this trade again, but I would just do it in a slightly different place after it's had a bit of breathing room to see where it goes next. So that's the only kind of downside to this trade. But it was a small size. I didn't write down how much it was, but I'm pretty sure CBI short, there you go, 200 shares. So nothing major because I knew how strong it was on the day. And then there's some lessons here that it traded like a low flow momentum stock that was very strong yesterday and today, and so forth and so forth. So all up, you know, decent risk return on the second trade. It didn't quite work out, and also good risk return on the first trade, which did work out. So overall, just a really nice day. I'm very happy to have had this day after yesterday where things just didn't go to plan and I really lost a lot of my discipline. And, you know I'm not going to have days like this every day. I realize that. But this is where I want to get to. You know, if there's ever a kind of nirvana in trading where you just feel at one and you feel like everything is going your way and you don't have, you know, your heart fluttering 170 beats a minute, this is the kind of day you want to have. You know, hopefully, if I could, I would bottle today's emotions. I would bottle today's trades, the way I felt, the way everything worked, and I would just release that, you know, every day at around, you know, 9 a.m. But, you know, the marketplace is a very quirky thing. So obviously, you know, I'm kind of dreaming, but we'll see how we go. Anyway, wishing you guys the rest of the day, that it, you know, it works out for you, and I will be available on email if you'd like to drop me an email at bart@daytradearcade.com, or, you know, write me any comments or any questions you may have, and I will be online again tomorrow and talk to you then. Thank you guys. Bye.